Hey, what's up, Muggles? Welcome back to a special holiday edition of Retro Pop Planet. Now, I love this time of year, and I can't think of any better place to be at the holidays than the Wizarding World. Now, one of the best things about this time of year is all of the food. The cakes and the sweets and the treats. I love all of it. So the one thing that I've really been craving this time of year is authentic Butterbeer, similar to what is in the books, but also what is featured at the Wizarding World. I've also been craving cakes and pies. So one of the things I wanted to do today is show you how to make Butterbeer two different ways. It's kind of a mock recipe similar to what you can get at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Now I know there's a ton of recipes on the internet and on YouTube, but a lot of them call for much larger batches, and I just want to make individual servings. I think what's going to really help me out though is if I had a wand. Unfortunately, I can't seem to find mine. Oh wait, mail. No, I don't remember ordering anything. Oh, Birdie Bots. Earwax. Oh, wicked, a chocolate frog. Alright, I have to open this up, right? Oh, Devlin Whitehorn. It's lenticular. Oh, yes, a new wand. This is the mystery wand. There's one of 9 that you can get. This is from the Noble Collection. I know that my owl did not have to travel too far because the Noble Collection is located about 30 minutes from my house. So I guess I have to do an unboxing. I have no idea what this is. Oh, of course I did. He who must not be named. Voldemort. It comes with a pretty cool lenticular bookmark. And check out this wand. It's actually really cool. I'm sort of afraid now to make the Butterbeer because he might spike it with poison. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a couple pies. I'm going to make an assortment of jam tartlets, and I'm going to make traditional British mincemeat pie. Now these are actually recipes I got from my mom. She is from the UK originally. So these are traditional British sweets. And then I'm going to attempt to make the Butterbeer. First I'm going to start with the warm Butterbeer, and then I'm going to do the traditional cold Butterbeer. Warner Brothers has actually come out recently with a version in bottles that is the same that you will actually get at the attractions. Now, it is bottled and it is only available right now in the UK. So if you live in the UK, you can just order some up, and I believe it comes by the bottle or in small limited packs. But here in the US, the only place you can get it is the Wizarding World of Harry Potter in California and also in Florida. So I have a hankering, I have a craving for it, and I just want to get into it. So let's go. Okay, first I'm going to be making the jam tartlets, and you could get all fancy and make your own pie crust, but I picked up these Pillsbury pie crust fillings. Comes 2 crusts. I think that's going to be all that I need for the amount that I'm going to be making. I also have a rolling pin, just in case I have any extra that needs to be rolled out. I've also got 2 pie shapers. The 2 tins that I have, you want a small depth tin. You don't want a full cupcake size tin for these pies and tarts. So I think this should work for me. I also have 3 different flavors of jam. Not sure which ones I'm going to use or if it's even going to be enough. These are small. I've got a plum. I've got a purple fig. And I also have a white nectarine. It looks like they've already been floured for me. I've actually never used this stuff before. So just so that it stays in place, I'm going to roll it out a bit. Now, I am not a baker, so this is all just free form. I'm pretty good at following recipes though. I'm going to use my larger pie crust cutter, and we'll make, I think I might make 6, depends on how many of these that I have. Yeah, that's awesome. So I'm going to line that into my tin. And I'm going to use these center ones because I'm not filling up this entire pan, so I want even heat distribution. Alright, I'm going to take the remaining pie crust and move it aside because I can use this again. And now I'm going to fill each individual crust. Now the recipe that I have calls for just a little bit of filling for each one because as you heat them up, they're going to expand and you don't want them to overflow. I really want to try this plum, so I think this is what I'm going to go with first. So I'm going to just take a little bit and line the bottom. Might put a little more than that. That should be good. I'm going to make another one. So it looks like these little pots will just be enough for 2 each. So this is going to be perfect. I have just enough to make 6. So next I'm going to be adding the white nectarine peach. Oops. This one didn't seem to hold as much as the last one. I'm now going to add the purple fig. This is the last one I have, and it should be just enough to fill these remaining 2 pies. Just make sure that I distribute it evenly. Alright, I might fold these over just a slight tad so they don't completely stick. I did not add any Pam or oil or anything like this to the bottom. These should just come right out once they're warm. I'm next going to preheat my oven to 400. And we'll let that go for a few minutes. I'm now going to pop them in the oven for about 15 minutes. And I'll make sure that I check periodically. While those tarts are in the oven, I'm going to now make some minced pies, which is a very traditional British dessert. I picked up this mincemeat classic. Now, again, this is something you can make yourself if you had a recipe, but I just wanted to do something that was easy. The only difference between this and the tarts, besides cooking time, is that unlike the tarts, this has a pastry crust over top. So with that remaining dough, I'm actually going to roll this. I'm going to need a bit of flour to keep it from sticking. Perfect. So basically I'm repeating the same step. I have another tin. First I'm going to cut the shapes. And I'm not sure how many I'm going to make. I might just make 6 of these as well. I might make a few more. Now we're going to have to make a pie crust top. So very similar to the jam tarts, I now am just going to take a little bit of this mincemeat and add it to each one of these individual pie crusts. Okay, now what you want to do is take the smaller cutter and cut some individual ones to layer over the top. The next thing you want to do is cut a similar pattern piece of pastry for the top of your pie, and you're going to use the smaller cutter. And then you also want to cut a vent hole. I'm going to use a chopstick, or you could use your wand. And use a little bit of water to help seal the 2 pieces together. And just continue this process. Alright, the tartlets are finished, so let's open them up and see how they look. Oh wow, they look and smell fantastic. So we'll leave that aside to cool. Now, we're going to leave this oven on, but we're going to crank it up to 425 because that's what we need to do for the mincemeat pies. And we'll let that heat as we finish our pies. Alright, our last step before we pop these in the oven is we want to either brush them with a bit of milk or some beaten egg. I'm actually going to use some oat milk. We'll just take a little bit and make sure that we cover all of these nicely. Okay, the oven is now ready, and so are our pies. So we're going to pop these in the oven now. And these also will go in for about 15 minutes. So make sure we set the timer. And I'll see you when these are done. Now, I've actually never had the warm butterbeer myself, but I'm told that it's actually pretty good. First off, you need a nice mug. So I'm using this metal chalice from Oxford just because I think it looks the part. And you need some milk. Now, I'm going with a 2% reduced fat milk. And basically all you want to do is warm it in your cauldron or a pan. And then you also need some butterscotch syrup. Now, the thing about the Wizarding World is you have to remember they mass produce all of this stuff daily for large groups of people that are at the theme park. You can make your own butterscotch if you would like, but I am trying to do this on the quick and just show you a cheaper, easier option. And I found this Smucker's Sundae syrup. This is butterscotch, and I have discovered that 1 to 2 tablespoons is pretty much all you want. You can adjust it based on the level of sweetness that you desire. For a chalice of this size, I'm probably only going to use 1 teaspoon. So let me heat my pan, and I'm going to fill it part way up. So now I know exactly how much I'll need to put in the pot, and we'll come back when that warms up. So now that's sufficiently warm. I want to bring it off heat. And you want to bring it to a warm and not to a boil. So the way to know that is sometimes you'll get bubbles forming a ring around the outside, and you can see the steam. So this is pretty easy. All you have to do is add that milk back to your mug. And then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of the Sundae syrup. And slowly stir that into the mix. I think I'm actually going to add 2 tablespoons. It needs a little more. I think the mug is a little bit larger than I thought it was. And just make sure you stir it in all the way. And there you have it, warm, tasty butterbeer. Now for the whipping cream, that's kind of the essential ingredient of butterbeer. You can go with a regular whipped topping that you may have store-bought. If you're a vegan, there are vegan options for whipped cream. I'm actually going to attempt to do this the real way. So I've got a Pyrex bowl, I've got some heavy whipping cream, I've got a stick of butter, and I've got a little bit of pure vanilla extract, and I even might add some sea salt to this, just for a little bit of extra flavor. The first thing you want to do is pour your whipping cream into the bowl. So this is going to be the hard part. You're going to either want to use a whisk and stir forever, or a better option is a small hand mixer, or you can use a wand. Basically the goal is you want to whip it until stiff peaks form, and then you're going to fold in some butter and a little bit of that vanilla extract. Okay, I've been mixing for a little while, and we get those nice stiff peaks now forming. And as you can see, it's actually my first time ever doing this. So I'm going to take a little bit of this pure vanilla extract, probably about half of a teaspoon, and then add it to my mix. And I'm going to stir that in a little bit. Next I want to add a cube of butter. Just enough to give that great butter flavor. I'm also going to add a dash of sea salt. Not too much. That's good. And I'm going to mix this in very quickly, and then I'm going to fold it. You can see the folding in now of the cream, and this is perfect. This is exactly how you want it. So next I'm going to make the cold butterbeer. Now this is my favorite of all the different types of butterbeers that you can get at the Wizarding World. One of the main ingredients is cream soda. Now one of the things that I discovered while deep diving into the different recipes is that Coke is the official provider of Universal Orlando. And I looked at the different brands and I couldn't find a specific cream soda that was a Coke product. Now there are several different offshoots. I've seen people use IBC. However, IBC is actually owned by some other company other than Coke. The closest thing I got was A&W because I like A&W cream soda. As far as I know, this is not a Coke product either. Your best bet is probably generic. I just know that I like the taste of A&W's cream soda. You also want a official looking mug to hold your butterbeer. Something like you would get at Hogsmeade or the Leaky Cauldron. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to take a little bit of the cream soda and pour it in the bottom of your glass. And from there, you want to add your butterscotch topping. I said I am going to mix in 2 tablespoons of butterscotch because that's what I like. Now you're probably wondering why I'm not adding this entire bottle just yet. Well, you really don't want to stir out all of that wonderful carbonation. So you take a small sample and you add your butterscotch syrup to that small amount of cream soda. You make sure that you stir this in. And once that's officially stirred in, then you can add the rest of your cream soda, making sure you leave a little bit not to the fill line. So then you can add the final touch, which is that awesome cream that we just made. Now you can also add it to your warm butterbeer. So let me give you one more option. Now, as I was scouting out supplies for this video, I came across something that looks to be a pretty good duplication of butterbeer without being an officially licensed product by Warner Brothers. This is Flying Cauldron Butterscotch Beer, and it is non-alcoholic, and I have tried it. It's pretty close. However, there is a little bit of an aftertaste which I can't quite place. But if you're in a pinch and you just want that flavor of butterbeer and you don't want to go through the hassle of actually making it yourself, this is a pretty good option. And if you just took some canned whipped cream and poured a little on the top, you're going to be fine. So I hope this video was of interest to you. I certainly had a blast making it. I just want to wish everyone a happy holidays, a happy Christmas, and I will catch you in the next video. Until then, I'm going to enjoy my cakes and my butterbeer, and I'll see you on the next one, guys. Peace.